Okay, this is actually... I'm not exaggerating. My 5th try starting this video. So yeah, um, I'm. I've already given this intro a couple of times, so it's very very strange now. Okay, okay, let's rewind. So, earlier today I was working on some stuff. Got a message from MM12 being like, "Hey, do you want to come and join me in Fracture for part of my DOU series?" I was like, "Yeah, sounds great fun." So turned up, and we were waiting a little while for someone else to get there, and so I was just messing around with some of the stuff I messed around with yesterday. This is going out so late that, like, when these videos come out, it will not correspond to yesterday or anything even within that month. What I was working on is exactly the same reason I'm here, is what happens if I disconnect partway through doing something vaguely interesting. We've gone some weird stuff. So, for instance, you can get yourself in using this and disconnecting. You get yourself in a weird state where you're kind of trapped, teleporting into the same spot every time you try and move. And you can use that to get in an infinite falling state. It's not hugely useful because LU has a max fall speed, which is capped. Or at least a max free fall speed, which is capped, so you can't get past that. We tried some interesting stuff with the bouncer. Kind of got close to something I was hoping we might be able to achieve. Didn't manage it. I've got maybe a theory or two as to why that is. But at any rate, I was testing this out, and there were some interesting bugs the other day. And so I get to Ninjago, and I'm like, cool, I've done some stuff, like the thing which inspired all of that yesterday was some stuff I did with relogging in and out of the, or with connecting and disconnecting in lanterns previously. I was like, okay, can I do a similar bug? Can I get something cool by relogging in and out of lanterns? No, not relogging, reconnecting in and out of lanterns. And I was doing that, and first couple, I mistimed it a few times because I completely forgot. I don't actually remember how to do my old Earth Lantern strats. But as I was doing it on this one lantern, I just got shot off, like absolutely miles away. I have literally no idea how. There's also been a couple of other cool things. I'll see if I can demonstrate some of them on the way. Yeah, because we're going to be making our way to Ninjago. But before we do that, there are one or two things I do want to try. So, for instance, one of the bugs I pulled off yesterday was I managed to get this dialogue to be open when I went to a different world. Basically, I got that dialogue to be brought up right as I was leaving the world, which is kind of weird, but you know, it works. I just want to check something actually. Try and check something for a sec. Do I have any active quests that aren't dailies? Probably not on this account. That's annoying. Basically, what I was thinking was dailies, they do have to check the server as to whether or not you have that daily. Main mission chain quests don't. So what I was wondering is because I know, I'm pretty certain in the past I did the obvious check. At some point in the past, I went and checked how like mission receiving worked when I went to when I disconnected, and like, it didn't do. I seem to recall I was surprised by the fact that I was still able to bring up missions or bring up the select mission screen. I just wasn't able to bring up the specific mission I planned on. Something like that. Anyway, gonna try. First off, so this is disconnect, shift, and lag spike. That was nowhere near the right timing for this, but let's just see, can I? So I'm attempting to move right now. Can't do anything. I've never did this exact combination. I'm going to wait, because we're going to have a timeout, because I'm going to fail that task. This may end with me just carrying the rocket. I don't know what it will end with. I wasn't holding anything in my hands, was I? But I do clearly have the rocket equipped, which is cool. I feel like the timeout should be ending, so maybe I am just locked like this. So I mean, the thing I'm gonna attempt, I'm gonna go for switching minifigure as like a default rather than smashing my character, I think. Because smashing just doesn't tend to do that well. I guess it could. I mean, all this helps with is it brings my rocket with me, but it's not necessarily helpful. Potentially, like, I guess smashing myself could have done something, although smashing myself would have just... Okay, so yeah, we didn't get anything there. Smashing myself would just maybe leave that minigame. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I've been taking a look at. So the thing which got the really weird bug the other day, where it like reassigned my key bindings, I achieved by doing something a little bit like this. I was just like, let's just load in literally everything I could be trying to do simultaneously. So I think I finished at Mardolf. I think I literally just did straight line action. So, disconnect, hit shift for the first time, get that little lag spike. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to here. Maybe I'll try taming another one just to confuse it even more. Alright, so this was what happened last time. Got stuck like this. I'm just going to leave this for a second, because I think, well, what I'm pretty certain happened last time is it timed out. I can get myself out of at least one of these by just unequipping the thinking hat, but there we are, that timed out. Interesting. Okay, so the camera's too messed up to do this, but at least I've got the thing that I can decline it. You can see me being teleported back into the place I was. Interestingly, I just managed to despawn one of the dogs. I've never seen that before. This is all like, that's all server side really, that stuff going wrong. Oh, interesting, then the other, okay. But yeah, so this was the point last time. Interesting. I really shouldn't be able to do this right now. I didn't think. Huh. Alright, I'm slightly confused by that. Yeah, we are going to go towards Ninjago, but I figure we might as well stay and take a look, at least see whether or not we can replicate some of this stuff. So, what happened yesterday was I also added in trying to fly somewhere, and that's when stuff really normally breaks. That's like classically when stuff goes very wrong. So let's just try this. Oops, mistimes that. It sometimes takes like a second for the... And I'm still disconnected. Okay, reconnected now. That's cool. Sometimes takes a second to enter airplane mode, which I never account for. Okay, begin reconnecting because I don't want to disconnect from the server. I left it off too long. So yeah, I should also add for context. What I'm doing here is I'm switching in out of aeroplane mode. If you do that for too long, you get kicked from the server. So essentially, the game internally is like keeping track of what its ping time is, and if it exceeds a certain amount, it just kicks you out of the game. The reason why I restart it, LU is something to do with the client I'm using, and it automatically defaulting to localhost when you relog. Which I'm very apt to forget, given that I've got a mod on here which removes the IP of the server I'm connecting to. So I've got to be a little bit careful there. I don't just spend a little while just trying to log into a localhost server that doesn't exist when I relog. But yeah, so gonna give this a couple more tries, because that was just so weird last time. Like, that's the only time, like, that just really, like, I don't know how the game was reinterpreting those inputs, but like, that's not something that should be possible. It was so weird that it was possible. So disconnect, shift. Okay, gonna begin reconnecting about here. Probably won't make it in time. Quickly shift. I did make it in time. Quick. It's too slow. But I think this was kind of state I made it into. Oh yes, okay. So I should be unable to do that. Okay, I'm gonna shift. Okay. So I'm still able to do stuff. So last time, okay, so yeah, I can't interact with anything, can't talk to anyone. It persists, if I recall correctly, it persists on smashing myself. But it doesn't persist, but it does get fixed on relog. I'm assuming the reason I can't interact with anything is because the game thinks I'm... Oh! That's interesting. That's a weird instance of... So, the game has a series of stuns it can put you in. There's like a stun thing, and the stun skill has various parameters. Now, the skill is explicitly seen in lots... There are lots of things where you explicitly see skills and behaviours. But, like, I'm at least in my understanding, other things use them that don't use them in, like, the same way like items use skills and behaviours. And I don't know how they're all connected. I don't know how it's connected up. I'm sure it is known. But I'm almost 100% certain what happens there is they use exactly the same stun there as they do when, for instance, I begin a charge up. So I'm going to stand next to this guy. I'm going to begin charging up, and you'll see that shift will disappear. And I'm unable to do anything whilst I'm doing that. So I think that's the state I get stuck in there. Now that isn't... I guess that is entirely server-sided. I guess, like, the server should be sending the thing to unstun me, maybe? I don't know. That has some interesting potential. Like, okay, me being stunned is absolutely useless, but what's interesting is the fact that I get put in a state and don't come out of that state. Which is interesting. But anyway, I think gonna call that bit of testing for here. Now what I want to try is to see whether or not I can get something else. Okay, can I close? Wait, no, I actually can't close this. What? I just relogged. We shouldn't have done anything yet that's... Oh, it should have disappeared when I walked away, but it didn't. Okay. I'm at this stage just kind of willing to believe most stuff that happens here, just because I know I'm messing around with this. Okay, so... got a speed boost. I've got some slopes. I can make it down to shop GUI easily. Disconnect, hit shift. Begin to reconnect. Get into the shop. I had a moment of delaying that there. I'm not quickly. Didn't click the shop quickly enough. But that GUI will still be up there when we get back. Or when we get to Nexus Tower, rather. I'm calling it. I'm not 100% certain if I'm right, but I'm calling it with some degree of certainty. So I wonder if I can stack another GUI on top of that. And also, like, I think that actually is, like, a valid client-side bug, because, like, me interacting with that shopkeeper, I think it... yeah, there we are. Do that, doesn't bring anything up, and that will remain there until I do something else that brings up a dialog box. Be really cool to... there's no way I can see of doing it. It'd be incredibly cool to get, like... oh, interesting! I brought it back to there. I mean, something like this is server side, right? I don't actually know what happened there. It's the best kind, though. What happens if I'm trying to build something whilst the game shoots me off in this? I mean, I suspect... oh, actually, no, that might be interesting. Reconnect. Time it right, begin to build. I guess I don't need to time it, do I? Interesting. So that took priority over the teleportation. Building that did. Cool. Sorry, no, not building that. Being shot by that thing took priority over the teleportation you normally get when you do one of those. Okay. Wait a second. What's your mission? Because this... interesting. That is, that's... wait a second, no, let me test that quickly, because that's a... I'm pretty certain that's a non-daily. Okay, maybe I was just wrong about... how normal missions work. But, oh yeah, that's the other thing. That normally dialogues... wait, was that special to the fact that I picked a vendor? But yeah, normally dialogues will close if you walk away. The only exception to that thus far seems to be this teleportation bug. Or this world-changing bug. So, I mean, there's an easy way we can... oh, is that easy? I don't think Shouty has any non-dailies. Oh, it has any dailies, rather. They're all one-offs. I can try get... I mean, that seems a long way in the time I have whilst disconnected to actually make it to Naomi. No, maybe not. Come on, let me... How did I interact there? What determines whether or not these guys will give me a mission whilst disconnected? Because, like, I clearly got kicked because they lost connection. So that implied that didn't require a reply from the server? That particular quest chain? That particular set of quests? Why? Is that just an exception or something? Oh, I guess we can check based on where I respawn. Okay, not for 100% certainty, but some reasonable certainty we can... Well, okay, we can guarantee... We can get a result which tells us that the server did know where we were, but we can't get a result that proves it didn't know where we were. Okay. That was the easier of the two conditions. Okay. Let's go. I probably left it too long. I can't get that. I can't get that quickly enough. Okay, enter, and I want to spam click. I mean, I selected it, but nothing happened. I suspect maybe because, yeah, maybe it's something happening needs a response from the server. And the server knows that I'm not in that world anymore, I'm not close enough. Probably it knows that I'm not in the world anymore, and so it doesn't send anything back to the game. Interesting. So I can do stuff. I can bring up dialogue boxes which don't require anything from the server. Didn't manage to bring anything. I didn't know. It was worth a try. Just clicking that, and these are client-sided anyway. What happens if I can do that again to bring all of this back up onto the screen? I'm going to see what happens if I try and do a quest and I've got another one already open. Because I can. Okay, so it thinks that this is underneath, I guess? Weird. Okay, so this wasn't where I had the attempt where something interesting happened, but doesn't mean I can't try it. So what am I going to do? Disconnect. I'm going to attempt to get in. I'm going to then reconnect. Oh, I've messed up. I'm probably going to be disconnected from the server as well. Interesting. Weird. So that sent me to the wrong one. What was that because of? So would that same thing happen if I did this? Was it just sending me in like a particular direction? No. That really, okay, that chose a specific one to send me to. So could I get this to send me to itself by doing that same thing? So what I did was shift. I shifted, I disconnected, I jumped, we reconnected, and I want to shift again. I want to get up. Okay, that's more of the classic. So that was the one I discovered. That was more or less the one I discovered ages ago. It's the one where you get it to kick you out partway through. But yeah, so the real weird thing happened in the Ninjago mines. Because what I was interested in is, okay, can I... Well, we were in front of the fracture thing, and I was like, okay, can I get it to kick me out midair? That'd be kind of cool. Be a little bit weird if M12 just looks and just sees me, like, dropping out of the sky. Be slightly strange. Okay, something which probably won't do anything interesting, but worth a try, is the Lantern plus Vendor combo. Maybe even, I guess, the multiple Vendor combo could be interesting. And absolutely no interaction with the vendors whatsoever. Try once more. Could try going to a different vendor. So I want to speed boost, disconnect, shift. Alright, and then nothing there. Kind of figured, but always worth a try. But yeah, so one thing I need to look into is skills which require, like, discussion to and from the server. Those are going to be interesting. Yeah, right, so I'll head down over to where the thing was. Right. Alright, that brings enough, gives me enough way of bringing those back up. So I was just thinking, where's the map? Oh wait, the map is. Did that just get... Because I don't normally... I don't have the map minimized. I'll actually get some Ninjago gear on, that would be a good idea. Honestly, this gear is fairly identical to the gear I basically just speed ran on my other character to get to Fracture. Real big and scary. You did a grand total of 1 damage to me. In fairness, that might have been a lot of damage, but the whole thing about how many hits correspond to damage when you're wearing Ninjago gear. Okay, so I think I did disconnect shift. And this wasn't quite what happened, because the other time I went up, but this is more or less equivalent to it. The other time I got... So it seems that it's picking like a particular part of your path and just keeping you on it. Because I got absolutely shot off in the other direction before. So interesting things about the state I'm in currently. I have no physics. If I were able to break out of the stun I'm currently in, I'd be great. I'd be moving around without any physics. I mean, I'd be falling through the floor, but the interesting thing is I'd be falling through the terrain object as well. And that doesn't normally happen. So I'm just debating right now at what point I'd probably... I guess it's relogging I probably want to do. The only downside is I think this counts as a server-side bug. And something that probably existed in live, but regardless, it's technically patchable, and so for speedrunning, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't count it. So yeah. Let's see, can't use anything that... what happens there when I click this is just indication that I'm in a stun state at the moment in time, and we don't yet have a way of breaking out of stun states. Cannot emphasize how much I want a good way of breaking out of a stun state. So I could probably pull this off, and could probably activate an ability whilst doing it. But the thing is, I think the stun is sent from the server. If the stun is sent from the server, there's no way I can get it to cancel the stun. Unless the server also thinks I'm coming out of one of these guys. But I guess what I could try an interesting thing of what happens when I get in 2 lanterns at once. But yeah, I'd say, actually, right, so I can do this. And just get a sense of how fast we're moving. Alright. Like the way the fog is just seeping up there. That's weird. Things you don't often see in LU. Alright, we now relog, and I may be clipped onto the terrain object. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know what I'm expecting when I log back in. But the server does know where I am. The server's aware of that. So the question is, where does it put me? It's going to be like boring, and the answer will be on the ground or something. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that again. I mean, that got me out of it by going for that third, but that's not really what I wanted. Yeah. Shame. Yeah, didn't really want to get in the fight with you, if I'm honest, but alright. Oh, exactly like the last time you tried to fight me, except actually slightly worse for you. Okay, so this is more or less what happened last time. Happened in slightly different direction, slightly different velocity or whatever, but this was basically what happened, whereas it was just me being shot off in some fairly random direction. I should have stopped that sooner to see if I could land on the roof. I also should have checked /lock to see how high I was. I'm suspecting I'll probably land out of bounds if I had to guess. Question is how high and can I get? So I can do that. This is pretty cool. So that's a... I don't know whether or not there's any possible client-side element to this, but that's a new clip. And had I routed that better, I could actually have gotten... I could have gone straight into the... Don't know which guy this is. Should be able to find out in a sec. Chop off Earth. So I could have gotten... I mean, in this instance, it's kind of by the by, but like... Could get to the Earth weapons had I landed that on top. So now the question is, can I get back in? I think I possibly can. I think I could... I think there's a chance I can abuse quick builds. Specifically this one. Unless this actually does... Okay, no, there we are. What? There's not a... There is a quick build, it's just out of reach. No! Can't come up with a clever route back in bounds. It's a bit of a rip. I mean, I can't just smash myself. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. That is a way up. So that lets you completely skip the fight. It does require you already having been up there, so you could argue it's a completely useless skip, but you know. It's interesting, because this, like, didn't exist at all before. And, like, also, that shot me high up. Like, you could tell by how long I was in the air, so, like... I actually need to... If that knocks me back, I'm in trouble. Slightly through off my imagination, it would appear. Okay, I think this has something, but probably not that I can reach. Yes, it does! And there we are, back in bounds. Woo! So yeah, on one hand, they prevent me. They do everything they can to prevent me screwing around with quick builds. This is not the DLU devs, this is the original devs. They do everything they can to prevent me mucking around with them by, like... Why did I just unload there? Okay, now that's something I've got to try again, like I'm kind of obligated to. What? That was weird. Why did it? I mean, like, okay, maybe the game, for somewhat good reason, doesn't expect a player to be... Anyway. So that's that one. Alright, we can do. This guy, nothing to build, okay. So, my questions, what if we activate multiple different lanterns? Because that's doable. Do this, get up, disconnect, shift. Reconnect. Shift. Why can't I shift you? conclusion is just Fire Temple really do be kind of buggy though, I guess. Don't think I can get out of this one. Not Fire Temple, you know what I mean. I mean, useful in that it gets me past the... So I'm not even certain what happened there. I'm not certain how I got out of it. Let's just try that again. Honestly, it doesn't have to get the imagination. I'll take it for a change. The other thing is what happens... What would happen were I to reconnect whilst on a bouncer? Seeing. Hello there. Okay. Really boring, if I'm honest. I'm not getting as much interesting stuff as I'd kind of hoped. Hey, we haven't had any drop frames yet. It's good to see. Guess I could enter. I can enter these whilst building something, can't I? Disconnect, shift, run. Begin to reconnect. Shift. Okay, I can. The other one didn't seem to do anything, but it might have just despawned. So I'm smashing those again. Didn't need the imagination this time, but you know, I appreciate it. Right, so I run, disconnect, shift. It's easy to get past enemies. Absolutely nothing happened. Okay, now I'm going to try exactly the same thing, which gave some somewhat good results on the fire one, but I'm going to try it with earth. It does. Okay. So this is a skip. Because this means I can get to any other room. Absolutely no idea how high up I was there. Again, I didn't type /lock. But that is a skip. Arguably, it's a server-side skip. Okay, getting control first off. Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going this way. I want to be going this way. Ground pound cancel. Come on. Speed boost. Alright. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. No. So I do all of that and I'm just slightly too low. Okay, that's kind of funny. But yeah, so I could be doing this without having completed the ice, not the ice, the lightning missions. This feels climbable. It's really hard to without being able to see. Just trying to get a sense of even what's around me. So I'm scared that I'm gonna like... Okay, no. There's a wall. Before there's an edge. Okay. So how close can I come to like getting up? If I can actually like... Nah, this can't be doable. I'm so close. I just need to clip through. I'm pretty sick. Right, at this stage it's just taunting me. I mean, I think that's proof of concept. Again, arguably not live accurate, but one of the... Like, but the thing is, saying stuff like not live accurate is kind of meaningless at the moment, because, like, no one was doing this stuff in live. Like, there were people doing really scary, like, even more scary stuff in live, like, classic Calvin and the QA server. That I think, but I don't think I can get through here. And there's not going to be a spawn point up here, unless there is. There shouldn't be. So I never entered a spawn point that whole time. Interesting. But yeah, so I mean, there you are. That's actually a really, really easy bug. I don't know if that's only occurring with, like, upwards things. But, like, that seems to be a very, very easy. Very easy method of doing some fun out of bounds stuff. I might go for it last time, or get one or two more attempts just to see if we can get anywhere fun. And also just to double check that I actually can replicate it. Not that time. Which does suggest I don't know perfectly what's going on, so I should try it a few more times. Look at that speed. So where do we want to go? Is there like a room where Fractal should be? Because that'd be fun to get into. Could always try to get to Shuriken's Device. I mean, honestly, it's going to be hard to get to any of those. We are going very much in the wrong direction right now. So we could just continue going this way and see if we can skip Chop-Off. I would say that's fairly high. This is one of the... But this is cool. Like, this is infinite height. We've never had infinite height as being a thing. Like, again, questions as to live accuracy, but regardless, I'm happy with this bug because this is pretty cool. Okay, I want to really quickly take... High enough up the camera broke. Seems to be what happened here, so... Going to switch and relog that. That's interesting. Okay, we broke the camera. Oh, okay. Want this to be as controlled as possible. Come on. Come on, why is nothing loading in? I think I want to be this way, but okay, there we are. Is this even open air? This might not be open air. Thought there was... And I was right, there was a way in. There you are. No. No need for spring shoes. And no need to fight Chop-Off. Yeah, that's your name. Yeah, Chop-Off. Cool. I mean, that's a win. So what else can we do with this tech? Need a nice, convenient, quick build. So what do I want? Okay. I need to do something a bit like this. Not quite what I was going for. Okay. Get over here. Disconnect to shift. Get back up and then begin to build. Come on, come on, reconnect, reconnect. Was that... okay, that was just a weird angle. That is a spawn point. I thought I'd been respawned somewhere else, which would have been interesting. Okay, so I need to actually heal myself up. Get a little bit of armor before attempting that again. Just so I can tank a hit or two. Okay, should have done that. Okay. Oh no, I'm way too slow. I'm probably DCing on this one. Yeah, there we are. I just completely forgot that I actually had to... Or that reconnecting wasn't instantaneous. Yeah, I don't know if this is what a lag switch is, but if this is, I need a good lag switch. Let's just Google lag switch whilst I'm waiting. What is a lag switch? Because I have only heard of this in... Oh, hello, I'm here. Okay. Let's de-aggro you guys. Alright, so here we go again. Go. Disconnect. Disconnected way too early, but we'll go with it. Begin reconnection. And this hasn't even come up yet, asking me if I want to... Oh no, it did. Oh. Fun. Fun time to, for me to reappear. Okay, let's try that again. Probably left that too long. I just don't have anything to build because that despawns so quickly. There's no way I can get up there in time. I can try something fun like... But yes, the other thing is, what if I disconnect whilst using one of these? I haven't actually tried that, I don't think. Nothing of interest. Other than that, I think the game may have held me in place on the ground whilst I was down there. That may be why I got as much damage as I had. So what am I going to try? Just lag out. Appears to be what I'm going to try. Probably DC'd. I don't think there's any chance of this not disconnecting me. Yeah, that was not just your end with lag. That was very much mine too. So still looking for some applications. So I mean, that was pretty cool. Again, it's just annoying that I can't find any server-side errors. Because, like, in live I would have been able to. Whereas here I've kind of got this, it now feels almost artificial restriction that I'm not allowed to break stuff on the server. Let's do this again. that was interesting. And I don't entirely know what to make of it. So I've got a shirt, which I can't see. Unless I can. I hope that wasn't the shirt I got, because that wasn't very good. Good present. Okay, that's an option. I can mess around with... I can also mess around with the... not what I meant to do. Not what I meant to do, but I'm fairly confident I can get away before he gets to me, so it's fine. Got a quick build here. We've got a game starting thing. Let's start the game whilst in a quick build then. Smash, disconnect, shift, reconnect. Not going to do anything interesting, but don't want to disconnect from the server, and it looks like I might. And that rebuilt before I even reconnected. Great. I can do so. That seems to be just very, very client side. Interesting. So me starting in the game would always be server side, but actually bring up the GUI there as client side. Need to relog. Let's forget that. And I've had Discord unmuted this whole time, but fortunately no one likes me. Always a benefit, it's upside. Yes, so... I mean, there's always the question of, like, what other stuff I can do during these, and, like, we know some of this seriously breaks the game. Yeah, so I mean, to begin with, we've got... Yeah, there's some success. It may not be life accurate, but we've got like an arbitrary height out of bounds. Which I think is pretty cool. Thinking, these things... bouncers are spawned client... spawned server-side, operated client-side. Crux Prime it is. Because Crux Prime is exactly the place you might want a few seconds longer of having a bouncer there. I think maybe they will. Don't know if they despawn or not. I guess I should test that before Crux Prime. I don't think they do. Is going to aggro on me? No, you're not. Okay, cool. So let's just see how long it lasts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 seconds. Right then. One, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. May have left that too long, but proof, then I might get disconnected, but proof of concept, that works. Can get in something where it should have been despawned by the server. Which is interesting. I wonder what happens when you're in a lantern that should have been despawned by the server. Presumably nothing, but... counting. We might see this despawning, but we might not. Oh yeah, there we are, okay. Guess that's possibly the wrong way of doing it, because it is just going to have despawned by the time I did that. Yeah, that's not actually fun. But I guess we already kind of know what happens, don't we? Because we have actually already seen the answer to that question. Alright. Yeah, so cool thing. We've got possibly not live accurate, probably have no way of knowing. Unless, of course, like, DLU do have scripts for certain things, so they may know whether or not this is live accurate, so I should check that. So like this, there's never been literally any evidence suggesting I could do something weird here, but... But it appears it wasn't waiting for the evidence. Like, I've tried stuff like this before. How have I never seen it? Interesting. That happened earlier. Is there a limit to how far you can go horizontally without crashing the game then? I mean, it seems that was probably on the order of... I think I got further than 1024, but like it seems like it was thereabouts. If we're looking at powers of 2, I definitely wasn't in the 2000s on any access. And I wasn't higher up than I got in the previous one. Where is it going to put me? Where would it choose to respawn me? If I went somewhere so far out of bounds that I crashed, where does it put me back? Guess just the last thing I went through? No, it puts me back somewhere that crashes me. Ooh. Ooh, okay, I may need to talk to someone about having my character moved. That's a new one. I mean, presumably that's achievable without that glitch as well. Like, we can get arbitrarily far out, I would assume. Because we can walk out of bounds and we can keep walking once we are out of bounds. Okay, so I'm going to try once more. I'm going to see if I can just get off a slash die. I doubt I'll be able to, but... This character... This may be where I leave it for tonight, and this character may be well and truly soft-locked until I can get him moved. Come on. think that is actually doable to send the /die. I think I could, over a series of relogs, manage to beat that. But that is quite the soft lock. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a proper soft lock. But that's the closest I've seen to a soft lock in a long while. Huh. Well, I guess that's where I end it. It's been a weird one. This is the place. No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, I'd probably try that. Sorry, I was considering whether or not it'd be worth starting a new character just to test some stuff out in Venture Explorer, but I realised I've already done all of those tests that I wanted to do. So yeah, I will call this for now, I guess. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Ninjago, and I'll see you around. Bye.